The speediness of making a video. Isn't it wild? I came home a good 2 seconds ago. Legit walked into the door, shoes are still on, my coat's on the desk right there. I figured, roommate's not here. I'm not sure if I clarified that or if I have a roommate. I have a roommate. It's the person. I told you about the person, that person right there. But unrelated to that, we are going to have a much needed rant section. And it's not about the roommate, it's not about a lot. I actually have a list of things I would like to rant about. And I am in a mood right now where hi. You can get a little closer. Don't know why you're so far. And tilted. Don't like that. That's a little too close. Back up. Definitely at a space where I am I'm filled up with something, anxiety, don't know exactly what it all is, but I'm capturing Captain Crunch and I just want to get it out in one big way. So this is my way. We have a couple things. Ooh, this would be a good one. You know what? Let's do the first one. Why not? Brown woman. Why? It's a bad. First off, funny is just end the video right there. Brown woman. Why? I am very interested in brown women. Right? Brown, black, whatever. You have melanin in your skin. You are identified as a woman. You're a woman. You're attractive. Should say that in a general sense. I'm just not attracted to white women. And this is a weird thing that has kind of happened in the space of me being where I am here. You're just gonna see Captain Crunch being flown around all over. I really love. I have dated a lot of white women in the past, and I've talked about WSS, white savior syndrome, which I believe I have been a part of. The idea that I think is very silly. We all have this white savior in our lives that we get like through culture, television, all this stuff. But I also think it has some, like, all comedy kind of has some truth to it. And the fact that like there are so many mixed couples that, like, I think maybe on some underlying tone has like security as like a big factor in it. It's real. It happens all the time. I dated a lot of white women, and let me tell you, there was a lot of perks to dating those white women. It wasn't exclusively the reason for dating them. I don't think it should be ever for any relationship, but it was not deterring me from dating them. Like, I should say, if I dated someone, a white person who didn't have money, I'd be like, oh, it's no big deal. I dated a white person who has money, I said, oh, there's more incentive to stay now. And so I was like that for a good bit. I think a lot of people are still like that. And then there was this whole thing. Oh, now you want to stay here? Just kidding. Now he's gone. There was this whole thing that happened kind of a couple months ago, I would say, where I just stopped. I mean, it just happened the past year overall, but really in the past few months, where I stopped and went, hey, I feel like a lot of women have taken advantage of me in relationships, out of relationships, and I also, subsequently, you may have talked about this several times, I have taken advantage of relationships, like women in relationships, in the sense that, not physically, but in the sense of using them as kind of a crutch to make me happy, making it their responsibility, right? That's using them. That really what it is, emotionally using them for my benefit, to make me happy, all right? So, That was a good little stop. So, I am. I'm not at a place where I should be with women. Also, fun fact with it, I know this rant's kind of like it's seeming like it's not much, but it's getting there. All right. So you just have to stick with me through it. I just got home, ADHD brain all over. I'm looking around the room. Let's focus up. A couple of years ago, I realized, oh, women's responsibility to make me happy. Also, I've been taking advantage of a lot of women. That happened the past couple of months. I was like, hey, that's not cool. I don't even think I'm ready. So hence the Conum, right? Long ago, we talked about the Conum. It's the rule that I made. Comfortability above all. Overall, only go for something if you think it's real. No one under my age. Understand the consequences of WSS. God, I should have listened. And M, mind your damn business. Conum, the example of temptation and how I drew it. And the idea of Conum is represented in this triangle. Tattoo is going to be a triangle, middle of my back. Anyways, this all goes into the joke of WSS and how that correlates with how I'm seeing relationships or attraction in a general sense. Black culture, I'm sure every single minority culture, but I can only speak towards black culture. I can definitely attest that it's like Asian culture especially, but a lot of other cultures are very particular about dating white people, right? Some people don't care. A lot of the more traditional senses, what the fuck, no. Why do that? And I have dated white people. My parents are like, whatever. My mom's white and Mexican, my dad's black, so it really is whatever. But given this whole thing of being taken advantage by women, where I currently am location-wise in this place, and my upbringing, like how I was raised in this place of like always around white people, like everywhere I go, California, Hawaii, Boston, Maryland, just white people here all the time. I'm gonna be moving to Cambodia, where it'll be white will be hopefully minority. Even still, there's just such an annoyance that I have that started as a joke, but again, with every joke has some truth to it. I don't think I am capable of dating a white woman anymore. Like, it might just be exclusively brown girls. And it's really weird because, again, it started as a joke. Like, it was like, oh, WSS, black community is like, you kind of joke about it. Like, oh, like, you're after the snow bunnies, you know? But I had this happen to me, not the other day. Well, maybe, it was like maybe a month ago. I was at this brunch club thing, whatever, we can talk about it later. Maybe I have. And this guy said, hey, I want to set you up with someone. She's planning on leaving, but she's looking for someone around here. And I said, oh my gosh, what the heck, this is beautiful. It was a black guy, so I was like, oh, maybe it'll be a brown girl. A white girl comes in, right? I said, you know what, let's just try it, to myself. And then we talked. She eventually, we left. It seemed pretty good, got each other's contact info, and then she was like, I'm not really getting the same vibe. And I was like, it got complicated after that because I wanted to stay in the group. I felt like the guy who's in charge of the group kind of like forced me into this, like, oh, you should set this person up on a date. Also, I'm really close to this girl, so if it doesn't go well, who's going to be the outcast of the group? Obviously you. So, anyways, what noticed to me after the fact was a legitimate question I asked myself. And that is, if the person that walked in was the same exact person but with melanated skin, and I've really thought about this, yeah, I'd probably pursue her more. And that's what's like, like same exact personality, same exact brain mannerisms, everything. I think the literal attraction of the skin color not being white is more attractive to me in a like overall more than white skin. Brown girls, like that's it's weird because it feels weird to acknowledge, and I don't want to like nothing against white girls. I think intelligent white girls, we have a whole different rant section on dumb people, but not dumb white girls who get it, would love to have them in my life as friends. You know? I don't really see a relationship happening from there. And I don't see myself ever really like being with we're gonna zoom in. You know what? We're gonna say this very clear for the record. All right. Here's how it is. And I'm generalizing. Be very clear. In the span of white girls, it is a section of white girls that get it, right? Would love to have friends, complex conversations with them. I already have that in my life, right? Those people, good friends, nothing more. There's a section of white girls that I like to call, please stay with me, ratchet whites. You know who ratchet whites are. I like curly hair. That's just always a big thing for me. Any woman, any person with curly hair, I'm already like I like them more than a straight haired person. So curly hair, a more ratchet attitude. Let's be blunt about it. It's hot. I think that to me is like a very hot, heat of the moment, something quick, physical pleasure, and you kind of move on. I don't really see a full-on relationship developing from it because and while there may be a ratchet girl that does also get it, um, no. In both cases, I don't really see a full development relationship. So, brown girls, I don't know. Look, I'm not. When I say brown girls, let's be very clear. I mean minority women. Uh, Anybody who isn't white, like American white. So it's no, maybe just white because I've thought about this too. Like, what about like Swedish white girls, like the whitest of the white people, like Finland, Irish, all that. Maybe it's hard because if I meet an Indian woman, if I meet a Cambodian woman, oh yeah, yeah. If I meet a Nicaraguan woman, Guatemalan girl, oof, oof. Ethiopian woman here where I am, oof. So, so that's just how I feel about it. I guess with brown girls, it's not really a rant against white girls. It's just more a rant of where I'm at emotionally with it. And overall, I should say, I'm not going to be with anybody. Konam is very clear right now. I'm focusing on me and me only, right? Understand the consequences of WSS. It is the you in Konam. Future you, looking, I'm pointing at you. Yes, you stop. Stop skimming through a video. I know you like to skim through the videos. Watch it. This is important. Understand the consequences of WSS. There's a lot. And while I'm not saying that I'd never ever be with a white woman, it's highly unlikely I will. Just from an attraction standpoint. Dog, maybe I'm prejudiced. I don't know. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Probably. I'm okay with it, to be honest with you. I'm okay liking who I like and not like white girls. So, sorry, white girls. Besides, white girls who get it and ratchet whites, you're right there. Um, that's it. Captain Crunch just he nutted my foot and I went out to the other room. So I'll end it right here. But I feel better, you know, doing that, just getting it out the way. Felt like a little lift off my shoulders. Not saying until now. random project behind the scenes. This time we're doing our dry run one. We're gonna do a couple dry runs to get it out there to prepare. The idea is this current week where I am, not time stamping it, but by this weekend I should be prepared. I broke down a lot, no lie. So this was the last thing that you kind of saw was this side, right? Warm glow. I finished this page with the pros and cons of even having the notebook. Decided not to use the notebook, and I decided to use the notebook. And from here, I broke it all down into the steps, right? This is the short summarized version. Or sorry, this is not the short summarized version. This is the official version. So it's gonna be like 3 full pages. So starts with intro, quick game, intention. Oh yeah. Oh, get ready for multiple pages. 4, the Bob Joes. 5, parents' values. Oh yeah, get ready. Look how much tiny who would have thought this guy writes so much? I'm pretty sure 6 is warm glow. 7 is the kids' values. 8 is argument A. 9 is argument B. And last page, 10 is grain of salt. 11 is beginning. So, oh, and Captain Crunch killed a fucking mouse. Sorry, freaking mouse. I should apologize. There was a mouse. I suspected there was one that he was chasing, but I woke up this morning. He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, here it is, right in front of the steps. You know, no big deal. Just straight up dead mouse right there. He actually did it. I'm really proud of him. Pause right here. We're gonna give him some treat for that. They were back. Anyways, just gave him some catnip as a thank you. So, here is the long withstanding dry run one. It's gonna be a very dry run. I tried doing it in the car, like actually speaking, but we're just gonna try it. Alright. Starting out by saying thank you all. Is it explaining or is it just, okay, it's going to be a very dry version of how I would deliver the speech. So not like full delivery eloquence, although I'm going for it. Alright. Thank you all for coming here to the speech. My name is my name on this. I'm not really sure what I call myself on here. The topic I'm going to be speaking about is on selflessness. How selflessness doesn't exist. Right? The reason why I'm speaking about this, because we're not here long. To start, I want to do a quick game. It's a very simple game. It's called the selfish game. Alright, the selfless game. You're going to put your hands up in the hypothetical scenario. If you think the person's being very selfless, hands down if you think they're being selfish. Here we go. Tony, I'll think about it for a second, dramatically. Tony goes to the soup kitchen to help on his days off from work. Selfless, selfish. Alright, hands down. Jessica gives an extra $2 from inside her pocket to someone who's sitting on the side of the street. Selfless, not. Alright, hands down. Peter sees a girl she kinda knows and asks her how she's doing. Is that selfless or is that not? Alright, Jamie gives an apple to every single teacher in her school on the last week of school. Selfless, not. And final one, we'll use me as the example. I told you that I go to a soup kitchen on my days off from work. It's not the action of me doing it, it's me telling you this. Selfless or not. Okay, now let's switch it up. Say, I am telling you that I gave $2 to someone. Right? No, I am telling you that I asked a girl how she's doing. I am telling you that I gave an apple to every single teacher on the last week of school. Is me telling you this information a selfless act
or not? Alright, hands down. What's important about this simple game is, one, I need to get a gauge of how you all are. This will be fun, this gauge. I don't need to, you can cut all that. One is I'd like to get a gauge of how you all are, and two, what matters the most and what I left out from this game, and two, okay, keep it simple. I'm trying to speak too much. And two, what matters is intention, right? I intentionally left that out intentionally. I left it out of those different games. Captain Crunch is trying to lick the floor again. He's not going to be licking the floor anymore. You go with your little toy. So, more specifically, action versus intention. Action, we'll use the Jessica example, right? Giving $2. The action of Jessica giving $2 to someone on the side of the street is what I said. It's the action. She puts her hand in her pocket, she hands $2, right? The intention, though, you have no idea, right? You don't know if her boss, she did it because her boss was watching her as they were crossing the street. Maybe she just doesn't like having change in her pocket. Maybe she's also been on the street and she understands that though $2 isn't much, it means everything. You don't know the intention, right? And the intention is very important. Specifically, with the intention is very important. Within the intention are the conscious versus subconscious intentions. I'm trying to get him to not lick the floor. Yeah, talk about dry run one, Jesus. The conscious, using the same example again, the conscious intention is what Jessica is thinking or justifying as the reason why she's giving $2 to someone. Right? Again, boss could be watching, she might have been in that same experience before. You have no idea. That's whatever Jessica's thinking. The subconscious intention, though, is the reason why she's doing it that she doesn't exactly know. That she doesn't know. I feel like I could phrase that better. The subconscious intention is why she's doing it when she doesn't know why. Now what's interesting is subconscious intention we use all the time. Two easy examples. Emotional. Have you ever, in your life, ever tensed up for a reason you didn't really understand? Have you ever started to get emotional or tears started to develop for something you didn't understand? Right? All comes from subconscious intentions. Daily commute to work or routines, right? Think about how you drove to work the other day. You don't remember exactly what happened in the span of the drive, but you remember that you drove to work. It's so routine, it's second nature. You're subconsciously doing it to go to work, your subconscious intentions. So, we have the subconscious intentions versus the conscious intentions. We have the intentions versus the actions. And this is all necessary when viewing selflessness. Now, this is all necessary when viewing selflessness. And it raises the question that's the basis of this entire speech. No, you're not gonna lick the floor, bro. Are there selfless actions, right? Are there actions with no selfish intentions that have, my fault, are there selfless actions that have no selfish intentions? Conscious or unconscious or subconscious? Bro's a little addict. It's insane. He just wants his fix of the extra catnip. Are there selfless actions that have no selfish intentions, consciously or subconsciously? Well, the best way, the the best way to answer that is through, put the little cowboy hat on, a story. And I'm gonna get a little, what do you call that? Like a little step stool, little thing right here. I'll do this. It's so high, my leg hurts from last night. I think I slept on it. We're gonna put it down. Pretending Stan's right there. This is the part where I'm doing a full cowboy accent, just committing to it. We're gonna have fun. Let me tell you about the story of the Bob Joes. Now, it started with a beautiful couple, Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe. They've been together a very happy 13 years. Don Bob Joe even remembers the first time they met, just like it was yesterday. I gotta have more enthusiasm. This is a drive run, but I'm gonna have like more enthusiasm. It's gonna be weird. That's the point. It gets them in, right? Just like it was yesterday. She was line dancing with her girls. She took a wrong step. She took a wrong do-si-do. She do-si did not. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna improv most of it, but I have like the points I want to get to it. She tripped, knocked over a man onto the ground. That man looked at her, and the first thing he ever said was, "I'd fall every day of my life if I could see another glimmer of that beautiful smile." And she was smitten ever since. It's so cheesy. It's so cheesy, but it's so funny. Okay, look, the entire idea of this is that I need to set up a foundational mark between the couple, that they have a strong relationship, so then when it gets tested later, you know that it means that much more. Because you don't know any running couple, they could have been fighting before. The fact that she remembers this like it was yesterday, trying to paint the scene of them square dancing. She do-si, did not, fell backwards, fell onto the guy. The guy looks right at her in her face, and I really gotta pull people in with this moment. He said, "I'd fall every single day for you if I could see another glimmer of that beautiful smile. See another glimmer of that beautiful face." And she was smitten ever since. That's how I should do it, right? Really get them. So, the Bob Joes have been together for a happy 13 years, and lo and behold, they're going to expect some more. Now, Bobby and Don are two very, very different people. But through their differences, they got one thing in mind when it comes to their kids. They cannot be assholes. You've seen assholes. They cannot be assholes. They do not like assholes. I should stop saying assholes. Oh my God. They do not want their kids to be assholes. It's a fair arrangement, right? Don't want your kids to be assholes. So, unfortunately, that seems to be the only thing that they can agree upon when it comes to their kids. So, let's break it down. I got my whiteboard over here, making sure you get 2 seconds with the floor catches on so crazy. And he didn't even do it. I got the old reliable Dollar Tree whiteboard. On this side, it's going to be Bobby and Don lying right down the middle. And you're going to see, starting with Don. Now, Don believes she's a good person, right? She believes that selfless actions, she believes that she is selfless at times, and she is selfish at times. But she wants to instill this upon their kids, that they are good people, right? Think of being a more Descartes-esque mentality, right? She believes she's good, therefore she is. Now here's the thing though. Dawn has all these chances. She has the opportunities to give, try, make an attempt. She has chances to give, donate, try, but she doesn't. And at the same time, she doesn't believe that it makes her a bad person because of it. She just doesn't. Now, next up is Bobby Bob Joe. Bobby believes that he, along with everyone else in the entire world, are selfish people. right? And he wants to instill this harsh reality upon their kids early. He wants to instill this harsh reality upon that to kids. It's similar to it's sort of a why make a bed mentality, right? Why should I do good actions when I know that I'm a selfish person and there are other selfish people who also won't do it? The thing about Bobby Bob Joe is he's very content where he is, right? He believes there are people who do quote unquote selfless actions. He still thinks they're selfish, but and there are others that don't, and that's life. Now, head off. What's very important to know between these two jeez. I wrote like a transition thing, but I'll just switch it really quick. Now, what's important to note about these two is that this argument is a tale as old as time. This argument is not new. In fact, it's old. It's very, very, very old. Let me introduce you all to the warm glow. I feel like I love the idea of props and having stuff. Bitch. Knocked over my poster. I feel the idea of props. I don't know what prop would be like for warm glow. Maybe just a sign that says warm glow. Maybe just warm glow. And I'll have like, like a shining, it'll be like a little piece of cardboard and it'll be warm glow. I'm gonna write that down right now. Give me a pen. You're staying here for part of this. Don't lick the floor. Get cardboard, title of warm glow. Or something. So, warm glow, aka why this speech has taken over a month and a half, aka the bane of my existence, aka a modern psychological construct. It's this theory where we do these actions, say, going back to the classic Jessica example, giving $2 to someone right there, and she feels good. She has this warm glow around her for doing that action, right? Think about people who donating, opening the door for someone, getting complimented for helping out. Those all emit a warm glow. We've all felt this before, right? Now get ready, because we're about to get into quite a bit. The idea, I gotta hold this actually. Philosophers have been debating this concept for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries. Not about warm glow, but the original question that I asked, right? Does selflessness exist? Now, there's two sides. There is the egoists. I always thought it was egotists, but it's egoists, right? These are the people who believe that, with no T apparently, I had to put that. These are the people who believe that selflessness does not exist whatsoever. Everything that you have ever done comes from you feeling good about doing that thing, right? Galileo believed in this. Socrates, Hobbes, Kant, J.S. Mill, Nietzsche. It goes on and on and on and on, right? And then there is the other side, altruists or pure altruists. These are the people who believe that, I guess more so philosophers. These are the philosophers who believe that selflessness does exist, and you can do purely selfless actions for others to do good. This is Leo Tolstoy. I'm sure you've heard of him. I don't need to say that, that sounds pretentious. Leo Tolstoy, Butler, Rousseau, Peter Singer, Nagel, Adam Smith, the list goes on and on and on. So, between these two different sides, and again, very clear, this is black and white. There is no equal middle ground. It is either you believe selflessness does exist or you're a selfish bastard. And that's where it comes from, right? Then in comes James Andreoni. Ugh, my love, James Andreoni. You know what I'm gonna have? I was thinking of already making like printing out a picture of just his face on like a popsicle stick. It would be even funnier to have. I'm gonna write it down actually. You give me a second. Alright, I got it. So I'm gonna print out a picture of, on like cardstock, of the head of James Andreoni. On the other side of it, I'll have Warm Glow. So it's easy, Warm Glow, James Andreoni. Perfect. So, James Andreoni, my love, the man of my dreams. I'm gonna be a little extra about it, but it's to get people there. He is a professor at UC San Diego, father of 15 children. I'm lying to you, I have no idea. I couldn't find any info else about him, but a sexy stud nonetheless. And in 1989, he came up with the Warm Glow model. God, I had to do so many props. Okay, whatever. We can do the props. The props are possible. It's just a lot. This, I'm going to fill out very simply Bob, Don, and on the other side, Odin, Izzy. And after this, we might just put a pause because it's probably over 30 minutes anyway. It's going to be a long-ass dry run one. You see, I'm nervous. I talk a lot, and then I also scratch my head. It's just hot in here. And it's okay. So what we're going to do, very simply, is also get a prop of the Warm Glow model. I want to write out the full Warm Glow model. I'm trying to figure out on what. I think what would be an interesting approach, not to do in a full-scale speech, I'd probably upload it, but what if I just have a picture on my phone, tell everybody to airdrop it, or I just send them all a message of the Warm Glow model, like in full. I kind of like that. Just the idea that it's like different and not just a picture that's on there, you know? Especially because I have a plain basic whiteboard, and that's going to be interesting, but having multiples of that is like boring, right? So they have this Warm Glow model. Alright, I'm going to write this down. Give me a second. I'm getting the props. We're getting there. Alright, back. Let's get a list of props that we're gonna have for this in the most rudimentary Year for Gravity way. So what we have so far, just through this is, alright, board. It's a Don and Bobby / Odin and Izzy board, just explaining their value board. Oh, sorry, that mouse thing really got me. I'm gonna get James head, and James head with Warm Glow title, and also popsicle sticks, I guess. Popsicle stick, like singular. I don't know, honestly, I've been craving those popsicles anyways. Might just buy some and then use a popsicle stick. Call it a win-win. Year of frugality, but also, if I was gonna buy them and throw them out anyway, Call it a win-win. And then the last thing was pick of full warm glow model on phone. Bam. All right, let's do the rest. Here we go. We were talking about 1989, the warm glow model. I'd show a picture of it. It looks very complex. We're gonna break it down into simple parts. Actually, let's end it here. We're gonna do a part 2 a little bit later. All right. I'm gonna save the picture with this right here. I know it's been over 30 minutes. I'll go eat, do something, relax for a little bit, maybe do another video, and then come back, do this. All right. So I don't know where Captain Crunch is. He's still on the hunt for his crewmates not getting scurvy with mice. So it's jazz. Till next time. Dang it! I'm not supposed to.